I think by now, we all know Meepo is a household name in the electric skateboarding industry, and the Hurricane line sets the bar for what an ultra-premium electric skateboard should be without breaking the bank. The all-new Meepo Vader is Meepo's answer to Evolve's Hadean electric skateboard lineup, and man does it give the Hadean Carbon a run for its money. The Meepo Vader has some of the best craftsmanship I've ever seen on an electric skateboard. There are no rough edges, and every component is carefully designed to be put together for an ultimate vision. And that vision is the Meepo Vader, Hurricane Carbon electric skateboard. Every inch of this board is loaded to the max. It's equipped with the best ESC Meepo has to offer, the safest battery cells in the industry, the quickest gallium nitride hypercharger that charges your board in under 2 hours, a fully integrated 3K carbon fiber deck, an ultra-efficient Lin Power gear drive system, and the toughest aluminum racing wheel hubs money can buy. All that for an incredibly affordable price as compared to some of Meepo's competitors who offer less at more expensive price points. I've owned almost every single one of Meepo's boards in their entire lineup, and it's safe to say Meepo's quality has drastically improved over the last couple of years. Meepo's electric skateboards both feel and look extremely well made right now in 2023. It's almost to the point where I feel Meepo is undercharging for some of their boards. But hey, let me tell you why the Meepo Vader Hurricane Carbon is the best value high-performance premium electric skateboard on the market right now. Let's go. The first thing that stood out to me about the Meepo Vader is the quality of the board and how it feels to the touch of the hand. Every inch of the Hurricane Carbon screams premium build and high quality components. This is in contrast to many boards from other brands that I've unpacked, and I've unpacked a lot of boards. Everything about the Meepo Vader, from the packaging to the 3K carbon fiber deck, just screams premium level quality. Very often, quality build and premium feel are something that's hard to quantify on a spec sheet, especially when you are making comparisons online. Not only is this a powerful performance board, this is also something so well crafted that I think you should have no problem hanging it on your wall as an art piece. Every part on this board feels like it's designed specifically for the Meepo Vader. From the machined aluminum cyclone wheels to the fully integrated carbon fiber deck to the highly efficient gear drive system, the Meepo Vader is hands down one of the best premium boards on the market. If you want a board not only for its insane performance, but also for its absolute gorgeous design that will catch everyone's attention, then the Meepo Vader Hurricane Carbon is the perfect match for you. When you buy a Meepo Vader today, it comes with a 400-watt gallium nitrate charger. It almost cuts the Meepo Vader's entire charging time by half. The charge time for the Hurricane was around 4 hours using a regular silicon-based charger, but with this new gallium nitrate charger, you can top off the Hurricane Vader in just 2 hours. This also means that it would charge your board up to 80% in just 1 hour. This amazing fast charge technology is $270 on Meepo's website if you are to buy it separately, but you will get it for free on all Hurricane Vader orders moving forward from today. So what is a gallium nitrate charger? It uses, well, gallium nitrate instead of the standard silicon in your charger. This material is more efficient at delivering electricity to your board and produces less heat as waste. Because of its ultra efficiency, you also need less gallium nitrate materials within the charger. As a result, the gallium nitrate power bricks are much smaller as compared to their silicon counterparts. It's not much lighter, but it's much smaller and saves that precious cargo space in your backpack. One other cool thing is that the charger also has an extra USB-C port to charge another device while you're charging your board, so you can charge your phone or remote at the same time. I went to a local coffee shop to top off my Meepo Vader while taking a break. It charged the board to roughly 80% in 1 hour. Pretty neat if you need to do some long distance riding. Have you ever tried to decide what trucks you wanted for your board? Most of the time with other brands, you either have to select either double kingpin trucks for carvability or traditional kingpin trucks for stability at higher speeds. But Meepo gives all their Hurricane Carbon customers both the DKP and TKP base plates. This allows you to quickly convert your trucks depending on how you want to ride. As for me, I'm always on double kingpin trucks because I prefer turning over stability. However, I have also tried out the TKP setup as well. The process took me about 30 minutes, and this is the first time I've converted a board from a double kingpin to a traditional kingpin in such little time. The TKP performance extremely well. I recommend you to drop the cone bushing on the roadside and go double barrel for stability. The cone bushing wasn't have to handle my weight of 200 pounds. As expected, the Meepo Vader instantly felt less carvy but a lot more stable. I was able to hit 29 miles per hour on this board on a flat surface with the stock setup at 90% battery without feeling shaky or unstable. The difference is night and day. What I also noticed was that the TKP setup has the same height as the double kingpin, despite having less room for bushings. So if you are worried if using the TKP trucks will somehow scratch up your underside more, don't be. The ground clearance is the same as double kingpin. The power delivery of the Meepo Vader is top-notch. Its immensely powerful twin 3500 watt motors are powered by the Lingyi FOC 55B ESC, which feeds 55 amps of current to the motors. This is the same ESC that's also on the Meepo Voyager. This is Meepo's best premium ESC when it comes to quality, reliability, and power delivery. I've clocked in hundreds of miles on boards with the 55B ESC, and it is incredibly reliable and consistent. The Hurricane also uses a 12S4P battery configuration with Molicel P42A cells. These are high-quality industry standard cells that are known for being voltage sag resistant and high quality in general, which reduces the risk of battery fire. These cells are packed in a premium metal casing within the carbon fiber deck for additional protection from direct impacts and the elements. The Hurricane Vader has a total of 4 speed modes. That's pretty standard across most all skateboards brands. Modes 1 and 2 are usually for beginners, and I would skip those immediately. Mode 3 is great for cruising, and it's very smooth in this gear. Let me repeat that, it's incredibly smooth in Mode 3. However, once you get to Gear 4, that's when things get a bit jerky. How I would describe the power curve is that it feels extremely strong at lower speeds, with somewhat of a medium power delivery at the medium speeds, before it ramps up to high power at higher speeds. Most other skateboards feel mild at lower speeds to mitigate the jerkiness, then ramp to high power at medium speeds before tapering off at high speeds. What compounds the confusion is a unique remote behavior when accelerating. The Lingyi FOC 55B is a low input lag and powerful ESC that has an interesting acceleration behavior that's implemented across all Lingyi branded ESCs. When you pull back the knob on the remote to slow down and then push the knob to accelerate again, the board launches faster than before. This unexpected acceleration causes unfamiliar riders to think the board is jerky. For example, if you are riding at 15 miles per hour in a straight line and you see a turn coming up, you slow down for the turn and then accelerates as you exit the turn. However, you will find yourself at roughly 20 miles per hour, which is much faster than before. Also, if you want to use the full acceleration potential of the Hurricane, you need to double tap the remote as you are accelerating. This means you need to push the knob all the way twice to accelerate as quickly as possible. Overall, if you are a power user and ride hard, the Meepo Vader definitely delivers. But you'll need some time to adjust to the acceleration curve and the unique remote control behaviors. The Hurricane is also fully integrated by the LinPower 4.0 gear drive system. This premium enclosed gear drive introduces a protective casing that protects the gear system from rocks and prevents riders from being thrown off the board. Not only is the transfer of power more efficient and instant with a gear drive system, it also is incredibly quiet. You can still hear a little bit of motor scream, but it's much toned down. This is great if you are looking for that stealthy ride and not looking to wake up your entire neighborhood. The gear drive system is very easy to maintain and lasts a whole lot longer than belts. I personally do maintenance by cleaning and greasing up the enclosed gear drives every 500 miles and change gears every 1500 miles. But some people can go a lot longer and further than that. The coolest part is that this gear drive system is compatible with most double kingpin trucks on the market. So if you have another board, and for some reason you want to transfer this gear drive system over, you very well could, and it would be very easy to do so. Also, check out Linpower's website for a complete list of compatible boards. However, there is a small downside to having this gear drive system, that is wheel hub compatibility. In the package, there are only two types of gear drive adapters. The first adapter, this crazy looking one, fits only Linpower aluminum hubs. This means you can only use this metal hub and whatever tires that can go on it. The good news is that almost all 6-inch to 8-inch tires do fit on them very well. If your tires fit on one of the MBS style hubs, then it's going to fit on this board. Also, if you're using a standard width tire, it will just be stretched a bit into a fat tire. I actually like stretched tires because they give you more contact patch and therefore more traction, so you have plenty of choices when it comes to pneumatic tires. So the question here is, will it run street wheels? The answer here is no. As of right now, there are no adapters to Kegel or ABEC pulleys. Your best bet is to get a set of Omni Escape street wheel gear drive system if you want to use street wheels on the Hurricane. Remember I said there are two adapters earlier. The other adapter is for Meepo's standard plastic hubs, so you can swap between Meepo's aluminum hubs and plastic hubs, but they are all still all-terrain pneumatic hubs. Meepo's official recommendation for the Hurricane Vader wheel size is a minimum of 155mm in diameter. Since most street wheels are smaller than that, you seriously run into the risk of bottoming out and messing up the underside of the board. To me, no street wheels isn't a problem at all. Using street wheels on large AT boards is never my thing, and Meepo's current 165mm Cyclone wheels are amazingly smooth, grippy, and reliable. Meepo Vader uses T700 3K carbon fiber decks. T700 is a heavier and denser version of carbon fiber. It's generally used in the aerospace industry because it is significantly stronger with only a small increase in weight as compared to other carbon fiber materials. So next time you jump off a curb or cliff, you can be assured that your deck don't snap into two pieces. This deck is composed of a beautiful unibody design that is completely sealed and flush on the bottom with almost no water ingress points. But please note, I said water resistant and not waterproof. So don't go riding in the rain or submerging the board in water. Because it's a hard carbon fiber deck, it's extremely stiff. Jumping up and down on this board will not bend it whatsoever. This stiffness makes the board extremely stable at higher speeds. The Meepo Vader's deck narrows in the center of the board and widens up again toward both ends of the deck, with the edges tilting ever so slightly upwards. This is my favorite type of deck shape, as it provides extra control without compromising comfort. The grip tape is great as well. It provides great traction while being not overly coarse. You can grab the deck with your hands without the fear of ripping out all the skin on your hands. Overall, the deck is of a gorgeous carbon fiber unibody design that is also functional, capable of providing a highly stable platform for high-speed riders while balancing comfort and control. The Meepo Hurricane is still of my favorite deck design to this day. One of my favorite features on any Meepo boards is the Kickstart feature. This is only available on boards with Ling-E ESCs. This feature automatically starts the board and connects it to the remote without having to bend down to reach for the power button. After using many boards with similar features, Meepo has the best implementation than other brands because the kick feature does not have an idle timer. What is an idle timer? For other electric skateboard brands, the remote start feature no longer work after a few days. For example, my Wowgo AT2 Plus has a remote start feature, But in order to conserve battery, this remote start feature no longer works if the board wasn't used for more than 7 days. Meaning if you don't ride for 7 or more days, you'll still need to bend over to turn on the board manually. But Meepo's Kickstart feature is timeless. As long as you kick the board slightly forward or backwards, it turns on and connects. No matter how long your board just sits there, it's a much better system in my opinion. As a reviewer, I have many boards, and I only get to ride some of them once a week at most. But none of these boards would automatically turn on and connect to their remotes by the time I want to use them, making this feature kind of pointless. So the Kickstart function has to be one of my favorite features on the Meepo Hurricane and all other Ling-E ESC boards. As I mentioned before, the board is incredibly stiff, so you won't have much rebound from the deck when it comes to carving. However, these double kingpin trucks are excellent carvers and negates most of the stiffness coming from the deck. This time around, the stock bushings are actually pretty good from the Meepo factory. I usually have the board side bushing a bit tighter than the roadside bushings. This gives me a bit more stability while still being able to turn hard. Considering how stiff the carbon fiber deck is, I say this board and the KDP Trucks can definitely provide a ton of fun for those who love to get low and surf the concrete waves. These traditional kingpin trucks are noticeably more stable than their double kingpin counterparts. I instantly felt more confident to kick up the speed on the Hurricane. If you love to go fast most of the time, change your base plate to TKP. The KDP truck assemblies are about the same height as the KDP assemblies. Changing these trucks are pretty easy. Took me about 30 minutes to get everything set up. The traditional kingpin trucks are so stable and it feels so easy and confidence-inspiring to go fast and push the speed envelope. Now that I tried both types of trucks, and I think Meepo did something amazing here. Including both KDP and KDP trucks enables you, the rider, to simply switch styles of riding on the fly and giving you the feeling that you own two completely different boards. This is a cost-efficient, smart design that truly benefits riders that no other brands are bringing to the table. If you want to spend your money on one board but make it feel like two complete different beasts, then the Meepo Vader might just be the one for you. The Hurricane uses Molicel P42A batteries in a 12S4P configuration. The P42A batteries are tried and true battery cells that provide continuous currents with very low voltage sag. The 12S battery stack still provides a highly respectable speed and torque for the Meepo Hurricane. Personally, I would like to see Meepo move to a 14S configuration, but from a performance standpoint, I don't think I would notice much difference in a blind test versus an actual 14S board. What I do know is that many like me love to compare spec sheets of electric skateboards, and battery configuration is of the most popular things compared. I'm just here to say, if that's what you are concerned about, you will not feel much of a difference at all. The M4S remote comes standard with Meepo Vader. It's not my favorite remote from Meepo. It's bulky and feels flimsy in the hand. For such a premium board, I feel like the remote could actually use some quality improvement. Because let's face it, the part of the board that we are actually touching the most is our remote. It could seriously increase or decrease the premium feeling of the board if not made correctly. I recently did a range test on the Meepo Vader and I got 24 miles of range going at 18 miles per hour average moving speed and roughly 600 feet of elevation. For my weight, I was around 210 pounds on a 60-degree day, so the range did pretty well and within my expectation. Voltage sag is noticeable when it's below 30% battery, but it's still capable to driving a steady 20 miles per hour speed. I ended the test with 0 bars left. Overall, the range is completely within expectation. One interesting thing I noticed is that Meepo quietly uploaded a battery box product. It looks like a battery extender for the Meepo Hurricane, and it's up for pre-order. I wonder how much range that's going to add. Are you interested in knowing more about it? If yes, let me know down below, and I'll be sure to add it on my next review of the Meepo Vader. The truck is 9.25 inches wide. It's pretty standard width that provides a balance between stability and turning. These trucks are narrower when compared to brands like Onsra and La Croix, but normal against other brands like Wowgo. The tire design is said to reduce splashing. I've never tested this water, so take that information with a grain of salt. It's able to climb a 46% slope. I don't have a 46% slope near where I live, but I have access to a pretty steep one. The Hurricane does begin to struggle up this slope in Gear 3. Once I switched to Gear 4, the board zoomed up the hill with 0 slowdowns. The deck is a 40 inches long. It's much bigger than your standard street boards. It is massive and have a long wheelbase. This means increased balance and stability for the rider. The new deck design is also updated for the Meepo Vader. It's darker and less orange, which I prefer. I am not a big fan of orange. There are plenty of other designs and grip tapes on Meepo.com if you want to change up the design. Personally, I like the current one quite a bit. For some odd reason, this board also works when it's completely upside down, so if you might need to anchor it down before doing any maintenance work on the board before it rolls away. Weight of the board is 38.8 pounds, which is about what I am expecting for a large board of this size. It may sound heavy, but the bash guard is designed in a way that makes the board easy to carry as well. Overall, the Meepo Vader Hurricane Carbon Electric Skateboard is a fantastic beast that defines what a premium board should be while not compromising on performance. It's gone through several iterations, making this one the most refined and polished electric skateboards out of all the Meepo boards available today. Every inch of this board screams high quality, from the deck to the drivetrain. It's almost hard to believe it costs so little when compared to some competitors that charges way more. This Hurricane will be a board that I'm keeping for a long time. If you are interested in how the board will hold up over time, be sure to subscribe and like the video. Thanks and see you next time.